Hello and welcome to another Retrospect video. In today's video I'm talking all things London Film and Comic Con related, LFC related. Yes, because I attended my first convention of 2018. The last one I attended was Birmingham in November, the last Retrospect I did. I'll leave a link in the description below for that. So yeah, the way the video is going to work is I'm going to talk to you about things day by day, what happened, because last week on the 28th of July and the 29th of July I was in London having a good old weekend away. So while I was wandering around London, hopefully you were enjoying the Big Finish collection video. There's a plug. If you haven't seen it, please do check it out, because a lot of people asked for it and it's out there for you guys to enjoy. So yeah, I'll talk to you day by day. I only did Comic Con on the Sunday. I'll just briefly talk about Saturday because I did do a few Doctor Who things, well, Doctor Who related things on Saturday. So yeah, that's basically how the video is going to work. I'm just going to talk to you day by day, you know, the people I met and that kind of thing. And at the end I will do a slideshow of photos from the weekend. So hopefully you enjoy that. And yeah, let's get cracking. So got on the train 8:20 and arrived at London about 11 o'clock, and then we literally went straight to the Who shop. Now, the Who shop's been this thing where I've really wanted to go, and I've tried for a couple of times, you know, when I went to see the Proms in 2013, but I couldn't go because of tube strikes. So yeah, I just couldn't go. And then last year when I went and saw Don 1 in Soho with David Tennant, we were going to go on the Sunday, but the Who shop's closed on Sunday, so that kind of put that out of the way. So this was the time we're going, right, we're going to do the Who shop. And yeah, the Who shop is a bit of a journey, because it's not in central London, it's a bit on the outskirts. And when you arrive at the Who shop, when you leave the tube station, you think, is this really where the Who shop is? Because it's really residential, and you think, why is there a Doctor Who shop there? Because it is really bizarre when you think that you've got such a highly popular shop based on Doctor Who. You think that they'd want to be more in central London. Maybe it's because of rent or something, I don't know. But yeah, it's really odd because it's about like a 6-minute walk from the tube station. And you just think, is this really where the Who shop is? Because you just feel like you're walking past loads of people's houses. So it's just really strange. So when you reach the Who shop, it's really surreal because they've got loads of merchandise and props in the window. So you're just like, my God, this is it. And you enter, and it's like an Aladdin's cave of Doctor Who merchandise. And the way I kind of looked at it, because the Who shop is a little bit pricey, so you've got to be kind of clued up on the merchandise, what you want to get. So I kind of thought, if I see something what I know I can't get online and something a little bit special, I will get it. And the only thing I bought from the Who shop was this, the Australian K9 figure. I haven't even watched the Australian K9 series because I know it's not very good from the general consensus. But yeah, if you try and get this on eBay, you just get the normal K9 figure. So yeah, it was nice to get this for 14 quid. But yeah, nice little oddity really, because the new K9, which just fell flat on its arse, like Timequake, where's that gone? They have a museum, the Who shop has a lovely museum full of classic Who props, where you literally pay £3 to go in. But if you are going to the Who shop and you want to take photos, take your camera. Don't take your mobile phone. They don't allow mobile phone photos. You've got to take a proper digital camera. So the video I'm filming this on, I took. So what's quite nice about the Who shop is, well, the museum. To enter the museum, they give you a key to the TARDIS, and you open the TARDIS, and that leads you into the museum. So it's very much like the Blackpool Museum, where they, if you saw on the Leisure Hive DVD, you go through, or Longley, you go through these massive TARDIS doors where you've got like a TARDIS there, and you just go through and you're in the museum. So that was really nice, and I'll put a slideshow of photos at the end from the Who shop museum, because they have quite a nice selection of things. Like they've got original props. They've got the Ultimate Adventure TARDIS console that's got a sign saying Neutron Flow, which is a nice nods to the Third Doctor, and they've got something from Marco Polo, a Yeti, Shock-Eye Monarch's costume, a Time Lord costume. They've got loads of things, Daleks, 80s Cybermen. It's just really nice to be in there to see loads of classic Who props, because it's kind of the only Doctor Who museum right now, because obviously the Doctor Who experience is gone. So it's quite nice to to be there and just see some Doctor Who props from the classic series. Onto LFCC, the big event. Now this has been an event what me, Jarkin Reviews, Adam Whovian and Scaramondus Productions have been planning for about a year, but we said, right, we're going to do an LFCC, and here we are, we did it, and that's incredible to know that the planning works. And I think if you are going to do LFCC, you do need to treat it like a military operation, because it's just mayhem. If you don't have any plans, then you're just going to miss out on things what you want to do. Because Showmasters, I will say, the guest-wise, they're brilliant. They're the place, they're the Comic-Cons you want to go, because they get the good guests. You know, they got Christopher Eccleston. You know, Christopher Eccleston. If you told me that last year that I was going to meet Christopher Eccleston, I would have just said, no, I'm not going to meet Christopher Eccleston. You know, they got all the new series Doctors. I'm not saying, you know, say including Jodie Whittaker, because she's still filming, so she's kind of exempt from that. But to get all the new series Doctors, because us UK fans have been a bit crotchety going, when are we going to get the new series Doctors doing UK conventions? And to know that we had an event with all 4 of them was just amazing, amazing, absolutely incredible. But the organisation was terrible. They overbooked on diamond passes, and they overbooked on photo shoots, because I had a diamond pass for Capaldi and Eccleston, and I'll talk about that later on in the video. You know, they do them in batches. You know, they do like the first 50 people to get an autograph with Peter Capaldi, that kind of thing. It's that sort of thing what they do. Because they overbooked on photo shoots, it really delayed the autograph signing sessions, and that will lead on to the real negative side of that event. For me, and really what ruined the event for me in a way. And just the layout of the building, the way they had the photo areas, you know, that they'd have some photos in one place, and then you'd literally have to run to another side of the building to get another photo. It was just absolutely mental, and you know, just the layout was terrible. You know, trying to find out where things were, it was just really awkward to find, and just the volume of people just didn't really help, because you know, just darting around, you know, the other side of the building trying to find out where things were, it was just mayhem. So if you are doing LFCC, do organise. So yeah, got to Comic-Con about 8:30, queued, went in, rushed to the photo shoot area, because all the photo shoots I booked clashed. And that's another thing what I mean. Surely having all these Doctors, they realise that us Doctor Who fans are going to want to get a photo with all the Doctors. And yeah, they decided, well, we'll put them on all together. So the photo shoots I booked with Christopher Eccleston, Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith all were happening at the same time. So that was really stressful, trying to get to one place, to get to one photo, to get the other photo, to get the next. It was just mayhem. But once I found out where I was kind of okay, still stressing, you know, thinking, can I do it? But I bumped into Tara Leptil, which was really nice. Nice seeing her again. It was second time meeting. And that's another thing, you couldn't really enjoy the day, you couldn't really chill out with your friends, because you were running to the next photo shoot, or you're trying to get an autograph. It was, you know, you couldn't really socialise that much. So yeah, it was lovely to see Terry Leptil again. That was wonderful. When I went into the Christopher Eccleston photo area, I bumped into Harry Williams, which was lovely to meet, because he was probably the first Doctor Who YouTube friend I made, so it was really lovely to meet him in the flesh and have a good chat with him. And I bumped into him for a fair few times. It was just great to meet you, Harry. It was lovely, and hopefully I'll see you at another event in the future, because it was absolutely brilliant to meet you. So I went in to meet Christopher Eccleston. The first person I met was Christopher Eccleston. Now I'm just going to say this now, I never thought I would meet Christopher Eccleston. I kind of just accepted that I'm never going to meet Eccleston, and Eccleston's a very special Doctor to me, because he was the Doctor what grabbed my hand and said run. You know, he was the Doctor what got me into Doctor Who. He was the Doctor I fell in love, and I really do love Series 1. It's my favourite of the new series, you know, maybe because it's my first series. It is just beautiful, it is amazing, and to meet Christopher Eccleston, I was just really awestruck meeting him. Like, there's been a few times where I've just been like, I've just lost all words, and seeing Christopher Eccleston was one of those. Seeing him in front of me was just incredible. And the fact that, you know, I was probably the youngest person at that point in the line, 30 to 40-year-old people in the line, and then I went in there, you know, being obviously a younger fan. You know, his face lit up when he saw me, and you know, shook my hand and said, you know, fantastic to meet you. The 7-year-old me just died because he said fantastic, and I was just like, oh my god, that's my doctor, my first doctor. I've met him, and I've got, oh, just amazing to meet him, because like I said, I just never thought I would meet him. And it was just incredible because Chris is a really humble guy. Like, he really appreciates you taking your time out your day to meet him. But yeah, it was just incredible. So I'll just put the photo on with Chris now. Bye. So yeah, that was that. And then I bumped into Scaramander's Productions, who we managed to get him into the Peter Capaldi queue because he had the same problem with me. You know, he had photo shoots were clashing, so I managed to get him in with me to do the photo shoot with Peter Capaldi. And much like the Eccleston photo shoot, what I did, you know, there were much more older people than me and Scaramandas there. So when he saw me and Scaramandas walk in, Capaldi's face was just, you know, he lit up again. You know, he was just like, he kind of rushed the other people through to get to us, which was really nice, which was lovely. Because Peter Capaldi, I'm going to be honest, everything what people have said who've met him, believe it, because he is honestly a true gem. He is a wonderful ambassador for the show, and again, I was in complete awe of him, just knowing that that's Peter Capaldi. You know, when you meet him, you do see the Doctor. You know, there is this otherworldly presence when you see Capaldi, and there's such a warmth and kindness by him. He's just really amazing, and to me, Capaldi was just so there was brilliant. My time to have a photo of Capaldi. You know, did the classic Capaldi pose, and then you know after that he said, you know, oh, you look fabulous. You know, I love your jacket, I love your shirt. I was like, oh my god, Capaldi's complimenting my fashion. That's brilliant. And you kind of felt like Capaldi really wanted to have a conversation with you, and you know, you did have a little chat with him, but you kind of got shooed on by the showmaster people, because it felt like Capaldi really wanted to spend time with you. And well, that's what happened with me, which was really nice. Then it was time for the Peter Capaldi panel, which I'll just put a photo on now. Ta-da! And I'm going to be honest, the Peter Capaldi panel was a real highlight, because he's left the show now, he can be a bit more open and honest. And I'm going to be honest, he was pretty savage with some of the things he said. You know, like he didn't like the Sonic, he just didn't think it was practical for him, and that kind of thing. It wasn't practical. You know, he said that he wouldn't return to the show for the 60th anniversary. You know, he feels like his Doctor is far out there. He wouldn't answer the call, you know, he'd be busy doing his own things, which I thought was quite interesting, because it does make you think, was Capaldi, you know, did Capaldi have clashes with the people who made the show? And by the, you know, when he talked about the costume, you know, it said, you know, what was your favourite costume? And he said his favourite costume was the first one he had, you know, the original Series 8 look, because Paul Smith helped design that costume. And as the series went on, he felt like his idea was very much watered down, because the BBC wanted to make more of a brand out of him, brand Capaldi a bit more. So they said, you know, can we have more colour in your costume? And Capaldi's like, I don't really want that, that's not who my Doctor is. So that's why in Series 9 he had like the brightly coloured, you know, t-shirts, you know, the pink and the purple kind of things, just to make, you know, that was the BBC trying to make Capaldi more of a brand and more of a, you know, colourful person. So that's quite interesting to know Capaldi's thoughts on that, and that's what I quite like, that he was open about that, you know, that he could talk about some of the things what he didn't really like, and I found that quite fascinating. And you know, you do really feel sorry for Capaldi, because he's been this fan all his life, and to know that he was done a bit of dirt, you know, that he was done dirty was just really terrible. But yeah, to know that Capaldi loved and adored, you know, every moment doing it, but some of the creative decisions what they made. So after the panel, you know, I bumped into JR Reviews, you know, Parachute Walker and Adam the Ultimate Whovian, which was lovely to meet them, because those are the people I kind of spent most of the day with. We bumped into the Big Blue Box podcast, you know, with Gary and Geeks, which was great, because I love meeting Geeks. Geeks is just a really lovely guy, and he's always a pleasure to talk to. So it was just great him talking about how he's finding the event, and everyone kind of echoes the same criticisms what we all have, you know, about the organisation and just the overbooking of things, you know, because it is really stressful. Then I bumped into a fan at the Christopher Eccleston signing area, which was really amazing. So I hope you had a lovely day and I had a nice little conversation with you, and I hope you enjoyed Christopher Eccleston. So yeah, that was lovely. So yeah, I had another wander around, and this was about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and then I went and met Christopher Eccleston, went and got his autograph, which was amazing. Had a chat with him, you know, saying that he was my doctor and, you know, he's an inspiration, and he was really humble and he was kind of taken back by that, going, really? So it was really nice to talk to Chris. So yeah, it was lovely to meet him, got his autograph, and I'll put that on the screen now. Then me and Scaramondas Productions went off to get our photo with Matt Smith, which was probably the most chaotic photo shoot of the day because the amount of people were there. And this is what I mean that they overbooked on a photo shoot, because that was a negative effect on the signing for the people who got a diamond pass with Matt Smith. Really had to wait late to get his autograph, and Matt Smith didn't see everybody who booked a diamond pass. So that's a real shame, really, and this is what I mean that they overbooked on certain things. It was so lovely to meet Matt Smith because I've been wanting to meet Matt Smith for so long. You know, he is part of the channel, you know, he is the Smith 11 part of the channel, you know, so it was great to meet him, you know, one of my childhood heroes. It was just amazing, and he's every bit like his doctor, full of energy, you know, just really loves the fans, you know. So once I met Christopher Eccleston, I literally pegged it to meet Peter Capaldi, because what I like to do is I like to have a photo with the guest, and I like to have their autograph, just because it makes it a nice complete set to me. You know, I've got a photo and an autograph, it's just nice. So bearing in mind this is at 20 to 6 and the event closes at 6 o'clock, and I had to leave the event at 6 o'clock to get back to the train station, because if I didn't get back to the train station in time, I would probably have been waiting, got home about 5 o'clock in the morning, and that's not good. So basically the way this is what I mean by the problem with organisation and diamond passes and photo shoots, is because the photo shoot overran, it meant that the signings were really pushed back and delayed. And of course they were doing the diamond passes in batches, so like the first 50 when I met Peter Capaldi. So I didn't meet Capaldi until you know, until the very end, because I was, you know, quite a high number in the pass section, and basically I couldn't meet Peter Capaldi. You know, I feel like this is the flaw in the diamond pass system. I think that as long as you've got the diamond pass, you can meet that guest whenever you want. You don't have to wait for a certain time or for your batch to be called out. I think that's where the system is really flawed, because I would have met Peter Capaldi really early on in the event, had the chat with him, you know, get him out of the way, got his autograph, bish bash bosh, lovely. And I just couldn't, because of the batch numbers. I think that they should just say, if you've got a diamond pass, you can meet him whenever you want. But because of the batch number, I just couldn't. And the thing was as well, because it was late on the event and it was literally closing time, they weren't doing dedicated autographs, so I felt really annoyed straight away, going, great, they're not personalised, and that's really annoying. So I was literally, you know, checking the clock, going, I'm not going to make it, am I? Because I was literally halfway in the line to meet Capaldi, and the line wasn't moving that quickly, so I was like, I've got 20 minutes, and by then, you know, the time ran out. It was 6 o'clock, and, you know, me and Scaramondas Productions, I was going to get him an autograph from Capaldi, but they weren't doing any extra autographs, which is a real shame. You know, we both asked, is there any way we can get in front of the queue just to do it, get his autograph, and they were just like, no. Which is a real shame, because I think that as long as you've got the pass, they should have just said, yeah, that's fine, we'll just squeeze you in nearer the front to get your autograph. But no, honestly, that is what I mean by overbooking, and the organisation, surely they should just go, yeah, that's fine. Because of the photo shoots, they prioritised you if you had clashes. You know, they didn't, you know, prioritise you because of transport, which is a real shame. And obviously, autographs not being dedicated, it really left a sour taste in my mouth, to be fair. And it meant that the goodbye we were all planning to have, you know, go to the pub and have a drink and chat, couldn't happen because we literally had to leave straight away. So that was a real shame. And that just really put a sour taste in my mouth and just made the event really not enjoyable. It really put a dampener on the day for me. really, so that kind of ruined it for me that day. But just meeting with my friends was enough, and I'm glad that I prioritised Eccleston, because I would have been absolutely gutted if I didn't get Eccleston's autograph, because, you know, like I said, this could be the only Comic-Con he does. But yeah, I know Capaldi will probably do more Comic-Cons in the near future in the UK. It's just a question of when. But it kind of makes me sad that I've got my folder, I've got the print with Capaldi, what I was going to get him to sign, and I've got my photo, but I just don't have the autograph, so it kind of makes me a bit sad that I was that close for getting his autograph, but I just couldn't. So yeah, left a sour taste in my mouth, and this is what I mean, showmasters, you need to rethink your system about your diamond passes and overbooking things, because, you know, a lot of people missed out. People who had diamond passes for Matt Smith, you know, he didn't see everybody who had diamond passes, so that's a real shame that they paid money to get Matt Smith's autograph and they just couldn't. So I feel like the whole event was a mess. I feel like they just bit off more than they could chew. So yeah, that's my retrospect on LFCC. Great event to meet people and lovely guests. It was just the organisation and the layout wasn't there. That's really what let down the day for me, personally. So yeah, thanks very much for watching this video. I've babbled on for way too long, and I'm just going to leave you some photos to enjoy. So enjoy the slideshow photos, and I'll see you in my next video. So thank you very much, and bye bye.